Photographers are like high school janitors. They're often looked down upon, even by students who are failing math class. They have mops, and they use them discreetly to hide their shame. They wear blue jackets sometimes. It doesn't mean if 5 of them came to me for help, I would refuse. You're a monster.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
I got a new sweater. It's wholesome and wool. It's cold. It's frickin' like 3 degrees. Heat's been blasting over the past week when it's hot, and now that it's freezing and raining, oh, the heat doesn't work. How convenient. Was that your question? We're on the Blackmagic OG, Leica 25mm 1.4, of course. Black Pro Mist filter. I couldn't decide between the lamp and the thing, so I did both, and they're both clipping. Was that your question? You probably get asked this a lot. I stalked your videos yet to find the answer. I film a little bit of everything. Corporate interviews, amateurs hanging out and doing stuff. The hell does that even mean? Amateurs hanging out versus pros that hang out and like hang professionally? Like, yes, let's get stuff done. So a couple guys hanging out, smoking. Wildlife and street photography. I hate you so much. That's such a... One camera can do one thing really good, but you ask it to do too much, it falls apart. I love what the A7S III can do, but getting back into the photography, cinematography world with the GH5, want to upgrade a full frame, likely A7S III? Of course you could. But is the lack of firmware updates really a problem? It's only a problem if you realize that their newer cameras are better for less money, and then you get saddened by like, how come I don't have focus breathing comp? You could add it in a firmware, but do you really need all these things? They're minor things. It's like animal eye detect in video would be nice, but it still works really nice. Just focus boxing on an animal, and then if you're not, one button press and you're manually focusing. It's very easy, so it's like the perfect camera basically. Doesn't end my channel. Firmware problems. Would it make sense to wait for the A7S IV? The problem is, due to the lack of firmware updates that we get, it seems like they went to the FX3 to replace the Sony A7S III, so we might not even see a Mark IV. That's what makes me nervous and makes me pee my pants. Happy with the GH5 now, but GH6 isn't the upgrade I'm looking for. Don't mind upgrading gear. I have more gas. You have less gas than me, that's for sure. I'm vegan. So, no, GH6, stop it. The G9 II is now your upgrade path. You might have asked this before that was even announced. I don't know. I have a lot of questions to get to. I'm lazy. But a G9 II would be a huge upgrade for you with a GH5. You're getting phase detect, 4K 120p, no crops, HD 300. Fantastic. Is it perfect for me? Oh, we'll see about that. But assuming that you have lenses for the GH5, I'd probably get the G9 II. I don't know what the GH7 is gonna... They haven't contacted me yet, so I have no idea. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I do good work for Panasonic. Moving on from your loser life. Would you rather have 4K 120p or HD 300? I think 4K 120 is slow enough. You don't know what you speak. I debate. When I go out and film wildlife, I do both. And there's situations that call for something being sharper and better in 4K, and he's not moving much. It's like, okay, this is better in 4K 120. But whenever there's movement, the slower the better. I wish I had HD 300 that actually looked like HD. The problem is, it's all a lie. It's like, you look at HD 24p and then compare it to 300, and it's like, no, that's not HD. You're calling it that, but it's clearly line skipped or something. Something terrible happened. So like, I would like actual HD, if not oversampled from 4K to HD 300 frames, then we'd be in the ballpark. 480 frames. Don't pretend you heard 300. So how's the autofocus on Olympus Glass? OM? For the G9 II, I think he's asking. 400 to 50, 2.8 Pro. No, in my experience, Olympus glass has always autofocused better on Panasonic bodies than Panasonic glass. So you're probably good to go, except when you do telephoto, you don't get the sync stave, and then you're only IBIS for telephoto. That's bad news waiting to happen. So like, yeah. And let's be real, Olympus has no 3D pop. They don't know what they're doing. They're sharp, clinical perfection, but pop? Character? No. Come on, Leica glass here. Be nice. Other potential purposes would be the Olympus 100 to 400 or the 300 Pro. The 300 Pro sync stave with not a Panasonic body. Are you seriously debating any of these for Panasonic? I swear. I don't remember if you even asked. You didn't mention Panasonic in here, but I'm assuming that's what you want because Olympus bodies suck. If you're going Olympus body, the 300mm sync staves. The 100 to 400 doesn't because it's a Sigma design stolen from the archives. Not that that's worth any money. Sigma archives are worth less than a cracker factory that's broken down and everything's moldy and there's rats inside. So, I would get the 300 Pro. Do you prefer the Leica 8 to 18 to the Olympus 7 to 14 2.8? I prefer neither. I think the answer to that question is the Leica 9mm 1.7. What is the point? Because I've tried both very recently, the 9mm and the 8 to 18, and I was like, why would you ever get the bigger, heavier 8 to 18? It's a 2.8 to 4, and it's a zoom, less 3D pop. It's like the best lens ever. That's the fun thing about Panasonic. Nice Leica glass. The Olympus 7 to 14 I only ever tried in a Thailand shop, and it had some weird lens flares, and I don't know, it was okay. I don't remember much from that, but I just have to assume that the Leica is superior because it's Leica. And it does lose a couple stops when you start zooming, but one stop. I know how stops work. I stopped your mom from doing something. The answer is always go Leica. You stupid audio not working. I hate you. Olympus is heavier too, I think. Don't quote me on that. And it's weird range. 7 is too wide. 14 not long enough. Potentially. I don't know. I would go like a 9mm. Have you tried Olympus Super Zoom 12 to 200? I wonder if you had just searched. Oh, Camera Conspiracies. Actually, I never title my videos properly. If you search Tamron 18 to 300, I think that's the focal length, then I filmed that on the 12 to 200 talking about how I'm excited for that Tamron lens. And so like I bought it, I tried it out from Camera Canada. The zoom was stiff as hell. I think I returned it to them. It was like unusable. I was like, what the hell is this? It was a fun idea that 12 you could vlog and then 200 is a 400mm equiv. Not bad. 24 to 400. It was decent. It wasn't really enough reach. It was bullshit. It was a little too tight as well. Handheld. You would need a tripod, and then you film wildlife, and you got this tripod dangling. Olympus, you suck. I'm upgrading from a GH5, and I need help deciding between the FX30 or the G9 II. They're very equal. It's like, pick 'em or toss 'em. The FX30 has like super crops though. In 4K 120p, I could not find the exact crop. Sony's saying 38%, someone else said 1.56 times crop, another guy was like 1.6, B&H says 1.6, I have no idea what the actual answer is. All three of those answers, if not four, equate to being smaller than a Micro Four Thirds size sensor in 4K 120p. So Panty Boy has a bigger sensor in the slow-mo, take that, and HD 240, also a super crop, I think it's 38%, so like you're right up at 2 times crop area, same size sensor as GH6, but you get autofocus in 240 frames, whereas Panty Boy is, whoops, sorry, we can't possibly do that. You're lying to my dog. I don't have one. You should walk him sometimes. But the fact that you probably have lenses, you have a GH5, G9 II is fantastic. I think it will have a more cinematic look compared to the FX30, Sony's always just so digital and clinical and weird colors. Penny Boy will be better, in my opinion. I think I would prefer having that. G9 II with the Leica 9mm and the 200mm prime? Could you even compete? What could Sony do? You'd be going with like an 11mm 1.8 to vlog, super shaky and bullshit. But like for wildlife, I don't know. Sony might be better. But G9 II has like animal eye detect that was fantastic. What the hell kind of bike was that? Sony is the reptilian, clinical, superior spec machine, but Panasonic has heart and hope and ponies. So I think I lean Panasonic, but I do change my mind quite often. Not about how comfortable and wholesome my sweater is. It's wholesome. All right, last question. Based on what I've gained from watching your channel for a couple years, seems like Panasonic G9 II is your perfect camera, is it? No. It's close. I know I've been praising it most of the video. I've known to be debunking myself often, but it's very close. It's just, there's a couple things that annoy me about it. One, I feel uglier in Panasonic for some reason. It just seems to never complement and beautify me the way Canon does. The way, I don't know about this, it's a little sharp and close. Back off me, homeboy. But I just noticed the colors, a little red saturation. It's my fault for being less healthy than I should be. It's like I have the rash on the forehead that will not disappear. Annoying. It's a vegan rash. That could not have sounded good. So like Panasonic enhances that, as does Sony, whereas Canon smooths it out. Blackmagic, I don't know what they do. They kind of smooth things because they're a 2 megapixel sensor. They can't see very far. They're nearsighted. I moved closer to you. Cannot tell if I'm in focus. You know the most annoying thing about this Blackmagic camera is peaking shows up, but it's never like super honest. And then I try to line this up with my eye. This is my new technique. And then the peaking's more accurate on that thing. Nope. Right here. And then don't move. You're in a prison now. So G9 II, it's amazing. It's just the autofocus not being there in 300 frames per second kills it for me. And 4K 120 not having animal eye detect. So it's like they have every amazing feature you'd ever want, but they don't work together in all modes. Frickin'. But I do believe Panasonic will play a major role in my future because they have access to all the Leica glass. And that's like super exciting to me. That 200 prime, the Leica 9mm, this 25mm 1.4 Mark I, by the way, superior in every way, 3D pop. Penny Boy, man, best stave in the business. If they just work a little color science tweaks, a little desaturate the reds maybe. But when I film cardinals, those reds are beautiful. It's my face, so I have to work harder internally to deserve a Panasonic. And then once the rash goes away, I could be beautiful again in a Panasonic camera. And then what more would you need? What more could you need? This with a G9 II, this lens, come on. Come on now. So like close to perfection. It was right there. I still debate it. It's not even released yet, but I debate doing something. How you doing? Do you agree with all my wonderful advice today? I think you should. It's getting thinner. The odds of me being in focus are not good. I'm going to leave. I've accomplished a lot here today, and welcome. You're welcome to buy everything I suggested through affiliate links. It helps me by giving me money to buy useless camera gear upgrades. I'm going home now. This is awkward. I can see my face perfectly reflecting in the Black Pro Mist filter. I hate that. I hate this so much. I'm going to leave. Subscribe for more videos.